Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, and give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, B'Shem Rachak Kodash. Double honors unto the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, the elders of Great Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, the sincere servants of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, serving him in truth and sincerity. So I'm the brother Chayaba from GMS Plank Devil's Camp, coming back with another lesson through spirit. This lesson will be based upon this article from nationalnews.com, which says U.S. Police Organization issues guide on how officers can deal with UFOs. You see this picture right here of obviously depicting a UFO, which, that's one of their, I guess, appearances. But hey, what? And keep in mind, UFO, which means unidentified flying object. And of course, for us brothers and fuses out there within the truth, hey, we already know exactly what these UFOs are. But the government, they're gonna keep on deeming it as UFOs. And hey, and at the end of the day, the government, the elites, they understand what these are, but they like to keep this info obscure, amongst the media and amongst the masses. So it says, police officers across the United States have been given a handbook on how to deal with reports of unidentified anomalous phenomena. So it says, the first guide, so UAP, it says the first guide about UAPs was published by the Major City Chiefs Association, which represents police executives from the leading cities in the U.S. and Canada. The report describes numerous previous encounters and how officers can report such incidents. So it's not like they can do anything about it. All they can do is report it. It says that MCCA has almost 80 executives from major U.S. cities who work together to promote public safety through a variety of initiatives, along with community outreach, research, and policy development. So it also says in the MCCA's recently published, as in the MCCA's recently published 11-page guide, the organization said UAPs detected in U.S. airspace represent a domain awareness gap that poses a clear and present danger to pilots and our soldiers that is more acute than ever. The document also warned that UFOs pose significant safety risks to law enforcement air support units, urging teams to be vigilant when in helicopters. It mentions reports by various government agencies, such as the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, determining that such phenomena are also a clear threat to national security, since their capabilities and origins are unknown. Which, again, we understand what these are. And, the elites, the higher-ups, they know exactly what these vehicles are. Ultimately, they're the chariots of the Lord, who the world that ignorantly calls God and Jesus. These chariots are the chariots of the Lord. Yahweh, the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, and His Son's name is Yahushai. And we say Bahashem, which means in the name of, according to the ancient Paleo Hebrew. So according to the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, and His Son's name is Yahushai. And we say Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. So these are Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai's chariots. These UFOs, again, they call them UFOs, but hey, we know what they are, and at the end of the day, these higher-ups, the elites, they know exactly what these are. And it's come to the point where they're literally handing out guides to law enforcement on how to deal with these UFOs, how to report them. And so, this isn't no, obviously it's apparent, there's no more gray areas on whether or not, so-called UFOs exist or not, UAPs exist or not. Hey, it's clear. Hey, again, it's no coincidence why they're literally handing out guides. So it's just a lot of news and what the spaceports has been created. That's not for any reason. That's not just for any a random distraction. Because Esau loves to give distractions. No, this is real. Them making a space force is real because ultimately this is scriptural. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get Ezekiel chapter 1 and 15. It says, "Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold," and by the way, the living creatures, when you read up, it goes into the appearance of the angels, which of course the angels have, they can, whether they're able to take on many appearances. But of course, what we know, the angels, their image is based on Yahweh Bashim Shai, which what the scriptures they give us a description of Yahweh Shai, which is a so-called black man, with woolly hair, white woolly hair, as well as skin as a brass burned in a furnace. But of course, when you read up in Ezekiel chapter 1, it gives you the appearance of the angels, and they have the ability to, have many appearances. So yeah, you can read up, but just get straight right into it. It says, "Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, the one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with its 4 faces. The appearance of the wheel," so these wheels are going, what do you think a wheel is? A wheel obviously is a circular object. Let's go ahead and get that Hebrew word for wheel. So the Hebrew word for wheel is awapan. Yeah, it says wheel, a chariot wheel, a wheel in Ezekiel's vision. Yeah, so a chariot wheel. So something circular, obviously. So it says, "The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl. And they had," here's like it says, "and they 4 had one likeness. And their appearance and the work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel." And getting this image again, within an article, you see how there's a wheel within, you pretty much there's an inner circle. When you look at UFO, obviously they have, you got the outer frame, and then you got the inner part, which are both circular. So that's what Ezekiel was seeing. It says verse 17, "When they went upon the 4 sides, and they turned not when they went." Yeah, meaning because the chariots are very, very agile. And they're not subject unto the laws of physics, and they're not subject unto Newton's or whatever. They're not subject unto the laws of physics. Again, we're literally dealing with extraterrestrial, and we're dealing with heavenly vehicles, literally vehicles from the heavens. And obviously, Yahweh Bashim Shai is over the physics of the earth and physics and all that. Now the chariots and the heavenly things aren't subject onto the bounds of the earth. So that's why these, as we just read within an article, these pose a huge threat onto pilots, onto air supports, or onto air support units and aircrafts and military vehicles, fighter jets, whatever. They pose a threat. Why? Because they're able to do. You can go into many accounts. It's many pilots who report about chasing down some of these UFOs, or so-called UFOs, and they literally do things that they haven't seen before. As soon as the fighter jet's trying to lock on to the so-called UFO, bro, we can just say chariot because we know what these are. As soon as they lock on to the chariot, the chariot's able to literally go the opposite direction, or go down like immediately, or go up, or just go light speed out of the view of the pilot, and keep or completely escape the locking, or the targeting, or pretty much escape the fighter jet's automatic targeting system. So hey, that's why they pose such a huge threat. Also, there's other videos where they're literally shooting missiles upon these so-called UFOs and chariots, and the missiles hit the vehicle, the chariot, and smoke, a lot of obviously the missile blows up and smoke comes out, and as soon as the smoke clears, the chariot is there completely intact. So the UFO, not only are they super agile, they can go as fast as they want. They're not subject onto the laws of physics. They're completely indestructible. So no matter what weapons Esau uses, they can't stop it. I mean, again, so this is why they're building a space force. This is why they're handing out guides to law enforcement. So it says this guide, released in June, also includes details from America's investigations into UFO encounters, along with the testimony of whistleblowers like former U.S. Air Force officer and intelligence official David Grush. It says one article shared with the U.S. Congress. It says one article shared the U.S. Congress UAP hearing held in 2023, which saw Grush, or I believe I'm saying that right, says testify concerning his knowledge about aircraft with non-human origins. Yeah, and pretty much the angel aren't like men, or the angels aren't like men. And yeah, by the way, again, the angels are the one piloting the chariots, the angels of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And yeah, they it's it's not like they have to wear a G suit or whatever they call it, the suits that pretty much reduce the G forces within aircrafts. No, they don't have to wear that. They don't have to be strapped down to seat, to harness. No, they're not. Again, they're not subject onto the laws of physics. It says police officers in the U.S. are encountering UFOs. Making it more interesting is the fact that the pages recount first-person stories from police officers who encountered unknown spacecraft while on the field. So this isn't anything fake, man. This isn't just something to put in the news. This is real. Hey, obviously the government, the elites, they're taking this seriously by literally putting this into the guides, the law enforcement guides and police guides. It says the report also features stories from officers who claim to encounter UFOs, particularly one in 2023, where a law enforcer saw a triangle craft with green lights gliding through the city, or through the sky, before a local resident said something ran nearby. Skipping down, it says he emphasized that he was unaware of what? Actually, let me read up. It says an officer reportedly claimed that he once witnessed a triangular UFO in the sky with 3 dim green lights while driving in his patrol vehicle. He emphasized that he was aware of what helicopters and airplanes look like in the sky, and that what he saw was unlike anything I had ever witnessed. See? So no, it wasn't a bird, it wasn't a plane, it wasn't a helicopter. It was something unlike something he has ever witnessed. No, it wasn't no damn Goodyear blimp. This was a chariot. So there you have it, man. So hey, the truth is out there, and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is making it more and more evident. It says Zechariah chapter 5 and 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Flying roll, again, going into a chariot. So-called UFO, so-called UAP. It says, Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth should be cut off as on this side according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. So keep in mind, it says, this is the curse that goeth forth over the whole, over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth should be cut off as on this side according to it. Yeah, exactly. So really, these so-called UFOs, because when people look at these heavenly vehicles within the sky, they look at it with awe, they look at it with amazement. Esau, they're recording it. Like, oh, UFO, let's go. I remember watching this one video, they're pretty much praising, and they're so happy to see it, which what they don't really know is that it's really a curse unto the earth. Really, it's a blessing for the elect Israelites, who the Lord is going to have mercy upon and save. Because deliverance is coming, salvation is coming. And World War III is coming. So the Lord is going to have to make deliverance for his elect, of the nation of Israel, elect Israelites. Right? But also these chariots will be aiding into the destruction of America. And also they're going to be flying, whatever the Lord makes these chariots do around the earth, putting out judgments. And again, because we can get into 2 Ezra chapter 13, which goes into the power and the weapon, or the energy beams that these chariots are able to emit. And it's more powerful than any laser or any type of weapon that Esau has. Or let's go ahead and get it. It says 2 Ezra chapter 13 and 5, it says, And I beheld, it's like it says, And after this I beheld, and lo, there is gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the earth, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, so by the way, the sea meaning, of course, from the heavens. In this sense, the Hebrew word for heaven is Shemayim, which means out of the waters, or pertaining unto the waters, or pertains unto the waters, because the heavens are like the waters. You can get that in Genesis. It says, so to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where the hell was graven, and I could not. Because again, this is Yahushua, that man coming out of the heavens, out of the sea, which again is the heavens. Yahushua is going to come from the heavens to the earth. Well, he's going to be upon a great, great chariot that's going to literally cover the whole sky. So that's why Ezra's likened onto it as if it was a great mountain. And, he was looking around to see if something got taken out of the earth, because of how big it was. It says, verse 8, And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Because again, these are going to be the militaries. Once Yahushua comes back, Ronald Reagan said it himself. If I'm paraphrasing what he said. He said if an extraterrestrial force came, would not all nations and countries pretty much make an alliance and fight against this extraterrestrial force? So obviously this is coming. Also Revelation, it prophesies how there's going to be a war of heaven. Not literally a war in the spiritual heavens where the Heavenly Father dwells at, and the angels and Yahushua. Now it's going to be a war within the skies, fighter jets versus the chariots, because Yahushua is going to come from the heavens with his army, with the angels. And what? There's going to be a war. Esau is going to be using his Space Force. Which what? Esau is a so-called white man. And what? He's going to be using his Space Force. He's going to be using his fighter jets, helicopters, and whatever to try to fight against these chariots, to try to fight against Yahushai. That's why it says, verse 8, to read it again, 2 chapter 13. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Because the Lord is going to put the spear on them. Because, hey, the power that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, or that Yahushai is going to come with. Again, scriptures say how Yahushai is not going to, he's not going to meet thee as a man. Meaning he's going to come back in a spiritual or an angelic perfect form. Spiritual, with spiritual power. So it says, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came. Yeah, so guess what? So the power that the Lord is going to come back with, and the angels, and Michael the archangel, and again, all of the Lord's army. Again, it's going to be a power that has never been witnessed. So literally the military are going to be afraid to the point where the Lord himself is going to have to put the spirit upon them to keep on fighting. And the Lord's doing that because he wants to showcase his power. He wants them to fight so that he can showcase his power. Just like how we did with Pharaoh. It says, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Which, again, this isn't literally Yahushai's shooting fire out of his mouth. This is him really commanding the chariots to emit this energy. It says, verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. So imagine all those three, fire, flaming breath, and great tempest, all mixed together. Imagine that. The type of power and destruction that can cause. It says, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight. The militaries, the world, or the militaries upon the earth. It says, and burn them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived. So what? There's going to be a multitude of military or militaries coming up, trying to fight against Yahushai. You're gonna have a lot of fighter jets, and helicopters, and just a lot of stuff. It says, so that upon of a sudden an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So, again, we read the blast of fire and the flaming breath and the great tempest, all those mixed together, and guess what? That energy was hitting and completely vaporizing the militaries. And by the way, this is coming very soon. And I'm not saying was as if it already happened. I'm saying, because this is what happened within the vision, within Ezra's vision. And by the way, Ezra's vision, that was what was going to happen in the future, which we are in the future, and this is coming very, very soon, man. World War III is very near, because Yahushua is coming back in World War III, the nuclear war kicks off. That's exactly when Yahushua is going to come back, and this is exactly when all this is going to happen, which World War III is literally right around the corner, man. They're literally they're putting guides about how to handle a UFO, or, how to deal with UFO sightings, pretty much. It's showing you, the times that we are in, man. Again, the Space Force that has been created. The mark of the beast is right around the corner being implemented. Wars are happening. Pestilences, famines, we are clearly at the end. We're waiting for the mark of the beast to be mandated. Once that's mandated, very, very, very soon after, World War III is going to pop off. And boom, that's it. Yahushua will make his return to beam up his elect, the elect Israelites, which, of course, us brothers and a few sisters out there within the truth, that's what we hope to be a part of. So there you have it, man. So, hey, we read what the UFOs, we read their appearance. We read what they're able to do. We read what they are, how you're supposed to look at them as. If you're, of course, a hopeful elect member, of course, in the truth, serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, really, these chariots are a blessing for us. But for the rest of the world, it's a curse. To give Zechariah chapter 5 and 3 to read again, it says, Then said he unto me, This is a curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth should be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth should be cut off as on that side according to it. Yeah, so pretty much anybody, if you're not a part of the elect, then it's a curse onto you. You're going to be completely subject onto whatever the Lord wants these chariots to do unto you. And again, there's going to be a lot of destruction happening in these times. These chariots are just going to be one form of judgment, onto the many, because the Lord's going to come with many judgments. Again, the nuclear fire, the nuclear war, you're going to have many things happening upon the planet Earth. Just, again, war and famine and pestilences and chaos and mayhem and anarchy. Obviously, it's going to be a very terrible time, man. And we're currently in terrible times, but it's only going to get worse. So, hey. So, yeah, there you have it. To read Psalm chapter 68 and 17, it says, The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Yeah, so what? 20,000 chariots of the Lord are 20,000. So imagine 20,000, and what we just read, what these chariots are able to do, what they're able to do. They have they can fly as fast as they want. They have no limit to their speed, infinite speed. They're able to make maneuvers that are completely impossible in the realms or within Earth physics. And they're able to emit an energy beam that's completely, it'll vaporize anything. So imagine 20,000 of those coming back with Yahushua. Again, it's no reason why the Lord's literally gonna have to put a spear on these militaries to fight. Because again, how great the power of the heavens are, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and the angels. So yeah, Lord's will, you blessed you brothers at the edified, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Peshem Kakodash, Brakathum, Shalom.